right center. That ball is gone into Monument Park.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the 30th episode of the Monument Park podcast. I'm Cole Weintraub.
And I'm Luke Profacci.
30 episodes sounds crazy. We've come so far. I'm not going to go on one of these little, I'm not going to say rants or tangents, but, lots to talk about. And we always do that on the Monument Park podcast. And the Yankees, I mean, I'm starting to feel it, man. I'm starting to feel it. And there's an old saying. You are what your record says you are. Best team in baseball. Come on, Luke. How you doing?
We just keep winning games. We just win a lot. It's very fun. It's different though, because last year we would win in bunches, but we'd also lose in bunches. And I mean, winning a lot feels better when the losing bunches don't come. And we just haven't been losing. I think we've won like 18 out of our last 21 or something crazy. I mean, we were 7-2 since we last talked. Judge and Stanton have looked like on top of the world over the last couple of weeks. Even in the Texas series where the bats were kind of not there, we were still able to win the series. That's how you know what a good team is when they win the games that they're not supposed to win. And even the other night in Chicago, like, we're in every game, even the ones we lose. Like, we come back late in the game, even if we don't always close it out, we're just always in the game. So it's been a lot of fun just watching like how we're going to win this game. Like, it's different every time and we always come through.
I mean, you said it right there. Good teams have good luck. You know, you're not supposed to win, you win. Last year, there would be games where it would seem like we weren't supposed to win and we won, but then games that we should have won, we would just lose. And I don't really think that's going to happen, or hopefully it doesn't happen. It hasn't been happening this year. So, we even talked in a minute. The Yankees had 3 days off, or a couple days off after we posted the last episode. Posted it on 5-6. They played their first game against the Rangers on 5-8, where they faced off in a doubleheader. Just want to put out there that I have a bad cold and I'm in Las Vegas, so just want to put that out there if I don't sound my normal self. Luke, take the first game of the doubleheader. I mean, we there's kind of like this unwritten rule where it's like, not unwritten rule, but like you don't really win both games of the doubleheader. And yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, the offense was just flat. Honestly, this whole series, I don't know if it was the off days or what. I just think we get a little inconsistent sometimes. People may have gotten out of rhythm. You've seen it. Rizzo's looked kind of weird. DJ's been kind of iffy. Like, sometimes that does that. I have confidence that those two will get it back. They've earned our trust by now. But, yeah, I mean, this first game, it was an absolute pitcher's duel, which would make sense when we have Garrett Cole on the mound. But they had Dane Dunning on the mound. This shouldn't be a pitcher's duel. This should be a 7-1 win. Like, that's – no, not Hay. It's Dane Dunning. He looked – I mean, what?
One of the better ground ball, inducing pitchers in the league, man. I mean, you can't argue with it.
I mean, you should still be able to hit singles. I'm not saying you got to hit home runs.
It's true.
But, yeah, he went 6 innings, gave up a run. Cole went 6 1/3, gave up a run. He had 10 Ks. This game, it started out, both teams were still in the rain delay. There wasn't any scoring until the bottom of the 6th when Stanton came through with a sac fly. I love when our big hitters can still come in and do like the small ball thing. Just get a sac fly, RBI ground out. We saw a couple times just because those runs add up. Those can be the difference between wins and losses, especially when we're trying to get every run we can on games like this where it's low scoring. Like I saw on Twitter today, in games we scored 3 runs or more, we're 20-1. So when you put that into perspective, a sac fly here, an RBI ground out here, a sacrifice bunt here, moving the runner over, that can be the difference between a record that we have right now versus one that's a little less, a couple games worse. So that always is encouraging for me to see that. And And then Cole came back out there. He had 10 Ks, so you knew the pitch count was going to be up. He was well north of 100 pitches. I believe he was in the 110s, actually. And he gave up a home run to Calhoun, the last pitch he threw. I'm very mixed on letting the ace kind of pitch until he's done. I think it would have been appropriate in a game we maybe had like 3 runs, 4 runs. Having 1 run, you want to be a little more careful, but you won't catch me really complaining about leaving Cole in too long unless runners start getting on. That's the one where it's like you got to take him out. But this solo shot, like it happens. We should be able to score more than 1 run and win the game. And that's exactly what we did. In the 7th, we had a little rally. We didn't come through. Hicks at the top of the lineup, Judge batting second. They both kind of didn't come through. So we couldn't capitalize there. That was really our only other that's really our only other scoring chance of the game. Like their bullpen pitched well. Loizaga came in, 1 2/3 perfect innings, set up Holmes in the top of the 9th. And there wasn't really much offense other than that. And then Glaber put one in the porch. Huge dub. Those are the games like we keep talking about. Last year we wouldn't know. Yeah, Glaber hit a home run, did a little gritty. But you wouldn't know in those low scoring games if we'd be able to come through, and it seems like a different guy's coming through every time. Glaber looks like he's having fun. The manager for Texas had something to say, which I thought was a little crazy because, I mean, Glaber's ball was gone at most ballparks. I believe it's 26 out of 30. And then Calhoun's home run to tie the game, like wrapped around the pole. So it wasn't even like his was a bomb and ours wasn't. I don't know. It just seemed like we're picking at unnecessary things. But yeah, it's good to see the bullpen pitch well always. Especially Loizaga and Holmes. Loizaga's looked a little shaky, more in like stuff wise than results. Like he'll lose the plate sometimes, but Holmes has always looked good. And yeah, it's a good win. A lot of good things to come out from this game.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple things. With Garrett Cole, I know I talked about it with Luke like that day. I kind of like thought about it, and it was like, I guess the true reason why I didn't really love it is it's just like it's still sort of early in the season, and we're playing the Texas Rangers, and Garrett Cole's going 12 pitches, and like Cole Calhoun hits a home run off him, and it's like, really, like did that need that? Like, if we just got in the bullpen, that doesn't happen. Like I know it's Garrett Cole, but 110 pitches in. Yeah, you talk about lasagna, and it's the hard thing about a podcast is, if you wait a little over a week, a lot can change. You could talk about a guy good in one game and then be talking what at him at the end. So yeah, he did go an inning and 2/3 perfect here, but just wait till the end. And then yeah, Chris Woodward. I mean, who are you? If I wasn't such a weird baseball fan, I probably wouldn't even know your name. So, whatever. Going to the second game, the original pitching matchup was going to be Glenn Otto, Garrett Cole, which I thought was just the prototypical just lose by 10 run day, but it wasn't because Monty pitched against Glenn Otto. So automatically we're not scoring more than 2 runs. What happened? Eli White, which is funny because in Chris Woodward's post game after the first game, said that was a Little League ballpark. Eli White comes up in the 6th inning. I know we're getting a little far, but comes up in the 6th inning and porches one into the first row. Like, isn't like karma supposed to like bite you? Isn't it supposed to like, come on. It made it 2-1 because Giancarlo hit one of the furthest balls I've ever seen hit into the bullpen off Glenn Otto. But Glenn Otto gave up nothing else. He won 5 innings, 2 runs. I think with Glenn Otto was like, and right now at least, definitely right now, is he didn't really have a spot in a rotation. Like, best case scenario next year, if we don't re-sign Tyone, you still got to battle out against the Schmidt and the Heel and the, Waldachuk and the Wisniewski. he didn't really have a spot on the team unless he was absolutely brilliant in AAA, and that's hard to do to a guy. I know he was already last year, and if he did it again, God bless him, but that is very hard to do. So yeah, I just want to see him pitch well elsewhere, especially because we traded Joey Gallo for him. It makes my argument stronger, or does it? In the seventh inning, Monty gave up a leadoff double. I remember Luke was questioning whether they should have pulled him. He may have. He only had, I think he left the game with only like 71 pitches, which is like very low. I believe that's what I saw when I looked at it. So he gave up a leadoff double to the switch hitter Jonah Heim, and I was not too pleased with watching Jonah Heim beat up on the Yankees this series because, I wanted to trade for Mitch Garver. Said that multiple times. He's their catcher. And then we traded for Jose Trevino. Couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. So got him. And then Jonah Heim's just raking. So that's nice. Just trying to pull up Montgomery's pitch count. 71 pitches through 6 innings. I mean, the guy went 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts.
Even when you can't pull a guy like that. You can't pull a guy with that low of a pitch count. It has to be at least like 90 when you're rolling like that. Is what it is.
6 innings. I mean, that's for what it is. Yeah, we lost 4-2, but that could have been like 7-8 innings. I mean, think about it. I don't know why they outing. I don't know why they. Yeah. So, gives up a leadoff double. Then they bring in Michael King, all reliable Michael King. And, second and third, 1 out, threw a wild pitch, scored Heim, and they gave up an absolute moonshot to Brad Miller. Brad Miller and Cole Calhoun hit home runs off us in the same day, and I'm not even surprised.
Those are the guys, they'll just run into one sometimes. I feel like Brad Miller's the typical pinch hit guy. I don't even know if he was pinch hitting here. I feel like he's always just doing that. It's sometimes guys just run into him. I don't fault King too much. I mean, the wild pitch is unfortunate, but you're not going to have every scoreless inning. I think we've had as close to a perfect bullpen season as we could ask for so far until later in the episode. But I don't know. These games, you're like you said, you're never going to win both. It's just how it works with a doubleheader.
And it's like you're never going to win both, and then you almost had this one. That's certainly annoying as a fan because the guys want to win just as much as we do. I mean, even more. They're the ones going out there and performing. So Brad Miller, gut punch. We do nothing. I believe Judge came up with the bases loaded, couldn't get anything done. But I'm not going to sit on this podcast and rip Aaron Judge, because that would be stupid. This was probably one of the most boring games of the year so far. I mean, I think I took a nap during it. The offense had 3 hits, and like I said, we could have won the game, but it is what it is. We move on to the next game, and our boy with the mustache did his thing.
He's crazy. The fact that this is a series we should have lost 2 out of 3 because we didn't hit a lick. We scored, let's see. Yeah, I mean, we scored 5 runs in 3 games, and we won 2 of them. That's just a testament to how good our pitching's been. And Nestor, I mean, he took a no-hitter into 1 out in the 8th inning. If we were in this game 4-0 and Nestor could have just pounded the zone late in the innings, I seriously think he could have done it. He was being so careful. He wasn't trying to give up anything. No, he's making sure he didn't hang anything because 1 run in that game was massive because we only scored 1 run. I seriously think we could have seen a Nestor no-hitter if we had put across 3-4 runs. But, I mean, what a performance. This is the type of stuff that separates the good from the great teams, these types of wins where guys just step up and play unbelievable. And we needed every bit of it. We didn't score until late. I believe the 8th inning, maybe the 7th. This is the 8th. We got a runner on. We got Judge on. Rizzo hit one against the shift or into the soft spot of where the outfielders were. The center fielder was shaded towards right. The left fielder was straight up, and it was kind of like left center-ish. And Judge saw it. The whole play was in front of him, and he just kind of put his head down and knew he was going to score. And he got the run, which is huge. You don't see Judge turn on the Jets. He knew he could get there. He
looked like Noah Fant run the slam.
I know. No, he that was very impressive base running. It's always like he didn't even.
I'll give Judge more credit. He looked like Travis Kelce scoring the game when he touched out.
I didn't want to break.
Why did I say Noah Fant? Like what?
He stinks. I don't know because he's your guy. No, but Judge didn't even look at the third base coach, put his head down, and got us the run, which was huge because we've been struggling for runs all series. And Holmes, after Nestor gave up the hit with one out in the eighth, it was just a single up the middle. He came in, got the double play. Holmes has been Mr. Come in the middle of the inning, get the double play. Talk about a ground ball pitcher. Everything he throws is laterally and downwardly moving at all times. He's Matt. That's a Matt Blake special right there. And then Chapman came in for the save, got a little dicey. They just missed one with 2 outs. Gallo looked a little lost out there.
Nick Solak. Come on.
Gallo looked like he'd never seen the ball in his life, but he found it, made the catch. It's just it was a great win, but it's like it sucks to see the offense not consistent. Obviously, you can't rake every game, but it's like I said earlier, Rizzo and DJ have been a little weird. I think this may have been like one of the last hits Rizzo's gotten. Like he's been sliding for sure. It's always that worry in the back of your mind. You're going to go to October and get cold. So I'm praying on that. Pray we figure it out. We have a lot of guys though that are proven in October, so I'm not overly worried. I just hope it doesn't become an issue.
Yeah, totally. I don't want to see this team pull a 2018 and just go silent or, sorry to hit a soft spot, but like 2017 on the road in Houston, like just couldn't hit. I mean, stealing doesn't matter when you can't hit. Like we didn't hit. So yeah, that I don't know. Yankee fans and like Aroldis Chapman, I feel so disconnected from Aroldis Chapman. Like sometimes I kind of forget he's on the Yankees. Like I don't know if that sounds weird. I could just be pulling this way out of right field, but like I don't know. Like you don't see his face a lot. Like you see, Rizzo, but we're paying this guy so much money, and I know he's our closer, but it's like when it was like Mariano, and just like I know that's like a bad example, but like, Edwin Diaz, I know that guy pitched for the Mets. Like I see his face all the time. Aroldis Chapman, I don't know. I feel like
he's not the most marketable guy either. I feel like he's kind of just his own creature, but yeah, he's a weird case, man. I don't know what. It's just Aroldis. Like I don't know.
And you just know he's going to be the root cause to our downfall at the end. So I mean, you can't really love him either.
No. There's not much to love about that guy. Let's make that clear.
That is very true. So you see these 2 games against Toronto, and you're like, dang, like we can't hit right now, and then we got to face Toronto, and our boy Yusei Kikuchi is coming in here, and he's gonna pitch against us. We can't hit right now. Well, we usually hit left-handed pitching better. Not this game. I believe Kikuchi had a no-no through 5. So that's nice. Way to go. Yankees, they continued to not hit. But at the start of this game, I want to focus this part of the recap on Luis Severino because came out really slow. Leadoff home run to George Springer because he's just the best leadoff hitter ever.
So good.
Sorry, Derek Jeter. Then he gave up, a 2-run double to Espinal in the 2nd inning.
It was ruled a home run originally.
Oh, yeah.
There's no play where Hicks it hit his glove, brought it back, whatever.
Way to go, Hicksy. And so that the Jays had a 3-run lead, and Severino had thrown a lot of pitches, but he settled down and he retired 9 in a row, which is big. 9 in a row before he got pulled. And with how many games the Yankees have to play on like consecutively, conserving the bullpen's very important. So when you see your guy not pitching great at the beginning of the game, working up that pitch count, but he's able to like give it his best shot and actually like, yeah, exactly. And like, even when you don't have it, you still figure it out. That's one thing I loved about pitching, was because it's just something that's like an art. Like you could still, if you screw up on the one color, you could fix it and it still might look good. I just used a painting analogy. It was terrible, but you got the idea. 4 2/3, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts.
It's like our worst start of the year, and it's a good start.
Yeah, and it was against
it's one of
the better offenses in baseball. I mean, it's against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Other than the Garrett Cole meltdowns, that's one of the worst ones, and he ends with 8 strikeouts.
No, like exactly.
Like that's such a testament to the rotation and him too, because that could have gotten. I thought we were gonna lose that game like 7-8-0, 8-1, whatever. Like I thought we were just gonna punt. But no, I mean, gave us a shot. That's all you got to do with this lineup, because they can score in bunches. You just got to keep us in the game enough to have a chance to win at the end, and that's exactly how this game went.
Like how many 3-0 leads? I mean, this one's an example. How many 3-0 leads have we just come back from? I mean, it's crazy. Exactly. It's just so money. So like I said, Kikuchi, no through 5. But, ever since Luke and I have badmouthed him, he's just pitched really well against us.
I think he throws harder now. I don't know. It looks like it, because we can't hit it for anything.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, 6th inning, much different story. DJ broke up the no-hitter, the leadoff double, and Judge followed out with an infield single. So you have 2nd and 3rd. And Rizzo hit a fly ball, advanced. Sorry, 1st and 2nd. Sorry, what? Rizzo flew out, which advanced DJ to 3rd. So I guess DJ didn't get any. Oh, Judge infield single. Sorry. So 1st and 2nd, Rizzo moved DJ to 3rd. And then after Kikuchi got Rizzo to fly out, Montoya went to the bullpen and brought in Yimi Garcia to face Giancarlo Stanton. And I told my dad that I felt like Garcia was going to hang one of his sliders and Stanton was going to pull it and punch it deep into the night. Well, he hung one of his sliders, but Giancarlo had, other feelings and punched it into the first row in the right field seats. Perfection. I love seeing that, because it's just like, ever since that guy started talking about the short porch, we're just hitting it in the short porch. So, way to go, Giancarlo. What a clutch home run. I mean, 3-0 to 3-3. Like, I feel like this, it was hype, but I feel like this year it's just happening so much. Like, that stuff's just happening. It's like it kind of expected sometimes.
Every given night, it's like, how are we going to win this time? Like, who's going to come through with the big hit? Who's going to make the big play on defense? That's just how this team's felt so far.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said in the open, like, I'm starting to feel something about this team. In 2019, we would be down 4-0 and I wouldn't break a sweat. Like I wasn't scared about the early deficit. I knew that team could come back and win it, and I know this team can come back and win games, and that's just a really good feeling. So Donaldson comes up, and it's like the second pitch of the at bat. Garcia hits him on the elbow, and it's like he got ejected, but
I don't understand.
No, and I don't. And once you do that, you got to stay consistent with it. So like any pitch close, if you got to give warnings after that, they didn't even give him a warning. They just chucked him. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts. I didn't get that.
And I thought they threw out Montoya, and they didn't. He was just still in the dugout. I don't know if he Bobby Valentine it or he just stood
the whole
there.
thing didn't make sense. And then in the later inning, Loizaga threw up and into Bichette at least once. It might have even been twice, like up and in, like brushed him, and there wasn't even a warning. And I think that may have been when Montoya got tossed. But it's like I agree, like it made no sense. It was just like completely isolated from the other incident, but it was the exact same thing. I don't know. I was I mean, it was in our favor and it got the crowd hype, so I didn't really
I mean,
care.
I was laughing.
No, it was like one of those things where it's funny when it breaks your way, but if it breaks the other way, you're so like lost and confused. But yeah,
No, totally. So, that happens. It's tied at 3. Go to the 8th inning, and why is this guy still pitching the 8th inning? Like, what?
dude, he's in the 8th. Loizaga's in the 6th, and they're both weird in that role. Just switch it. Like, I don't understand. Loizaga in the 8th inning last year was like the best pitcher in the world. Like, just flip him. Please.
You know what this game, Miguel Castro was the nastiest I've seen him.
That pitch, the 99 with all the run, it ended in the middle of the plate. The guy thought it was a ball.
Dude, I would take anybody else to pitch the 8th inning than Chad Green. Dude, Chad Green is the most 6th inning relief pitcher I've ever seen. Just stick him in the middle so that we have a chance to win when he gives up 8 runs.
He's the tip. Like, you bring him in when you're up 4 runs and you need someone to put the ball over the plate.
Yeah,
and get out. Because he's never going to walk anybody because his ball doesn't move. So you put him in up runs and then he won't ruin the game. He may give up 1 or 2. But if you get if you get 2 innings, 2 runs out of Chad Green when you're up like 5-1, it's not great, but it's like that's the best you're gonna get. The guy gives up runs every time.
Chad Green pitches with the lead even when the game is tied. I mean, we talk about pitching with the plate. He just puts it over. Contact, whatever. Here it is. Hit it. 94. I mean, geez, Louise. So, sorry, I went on the rant before I even said what happened. So yeah, I guess if you didn't know, the Jays took the lead. So RBI double to Yuli Gurriel. Sorry, Lourdes Gurriel. That was at his head, and I see that Luke added something. And Hicks didn't hustle, or was that me? That must have been you.
I added it. Charlie no hustle. Took an hour to get to the ball. I don't know what he's doing out there.
I actually totally forgot about that. Yeah, he just didn't run.
He just didn't run to the ball.
And then, so Kirk's on first, right?
No, Vlad scored from first.
Oh, sorry.
Big boy scored from first.
Yeah,
I knew. Dude, run.
Yeah, I knew it was someone slow. Hicks, does a little, and then, throws it. It's like, bro, get it in.
Everyone's talking about that, but I was more focused on the fact that he literally walked to the ball.
No, that too. It was all
that
just
was
it
was even worse.
It was just all of it together. Just what are you doing, dude? So that he throws it to IKF, and he's got the worst arm in baseball. So that's what it is. He's our shortstop. That's nice. And then Alejandro Kirk at a sac fly to make it 5-3. And if it wasn't already bad. So the Yankees did nothing in the bottom of the 8th. I'm just ready to just blame it all on Chad Green. Coming up in the 9th was 8-9-1 with IKF and Trevino. So I'm like, Wandy threw a scoreless 9th. Wandy should have pitched the 8th. So we're going to the 9th. IKF, strikeout, surprise. I don't know. I like to just criticize IKF when I have the chance to, but then praise him when he does well. It's just a love-hate.
It's your guy.
Yeah. So Jordan Romano's in. He's got the league leader, and he's the league leader in saves. So I lost all hope when Trevino came up, but I was so wrong. This guy comes up and works a walk. I mean, that was the
stared him down too.
He stared him down.
He got him so rattled. He looked at him right in the face. He's like, "Dude, you're walking me." Because
he kept throwing. He kept throwing sliders. Yeah, exactly. Because he kept throwing sliders in, and he kept ducking out of the way. And he did the same thing to DJ, and he walked too. So all of a sudden, the winning run's at the plate in the name of Aaron Judge. And it's like,
Clutch.
yeah, Mr. Clutch. And I'm like, oh my, like, just do it once. Just do it. Like, if there's, just do it now. Just do it now. Like, right now, dude. So they do a mound visit. I don't know what they were talking about in that mound visit. I think the pitching coach went out there and said, don't hang a slider.
Yeah,
Second
don't throw a
pitch.
slider down the middle. He threw 3 of them. Like, what are we doing,
He
guy?
just threw another one to Judge. Bam. 450. The crowd just went up. Everyone's crying. Everyone's happy.
Nobody's crying.
No. Tears of joy.
Oh
well, you hear my voice. That's partially why this Aaron Judge home run like 6 days ago is the reason why I don't have a voice. Just what an electric moment. And it's just a huge win. And I mean, Aaron Judge, this guy is a man on a mission. He's hitting for contact. He's hitting for power. He's playing a great right field. He's running the bases like an NFL tight end. Luke,
he's like gonna win the MVP. Fella? He's gonna win the MVP. Like that's the definition of betting on yourself. What he did, turning down a very fair offer, which I can't say I liked at the time, but you got to respect betting on yourself and then playing like this.
Yeah.
He's out of control. And he has a partner in crime in Stanton. They're both just hitting the lights out of the ball. I mean,
can we re-sign Judge at the middle of the season? Please?
I mean, this is probably the highest. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. The way he's playing, you can't let this guy go. I mean, these two, man, Judge especially, that ball went so far.
So far.
He didn't even.
He gritty.
He did gritty. That's how you know. Team's having fun. It's always better when the team's having fun. There's another one we felt like we just stole, but it's really not. Like, you put this team in the position to win at the end of the game, it's up to whether or not proven hitters are going to hit in big spots. And now we have, when everybody's right, we have 6 proven hitters that come up in the late innings, and they're a threat. Even I know Glaber's either very on or kind of eh. I know Donaldson's not come through more than he has come through, but every time in the late innings, the top 4 and then those 2 come up, there's a good chance stuff's getting done. And happened again this game.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Glaber, even when he's not hitting well, I still think he comes up and does it.
Exactly.
It's just one of my observations. A large sample size because he's been playing bad.
Been clutch. Always been clutch stuff.
Exactly. So I mean, we got another game against the Blue Jays, and it's like you want to win so bad because it's like we just did all that to win, and tomorrow we're gonna split. And we're not gonna pick up a game. It's like, come on, let's go.
Typical 12:30 start hangover game after a big win. If I was a betting man, I would have hammered the Blue Jays in this one because it's such a letdown spot after a win like that. And Tyone started out, he gave up a run in the first, down quick 1-0. But similar to Sevy, it wasn't as severe. He didn't give up a lot of runs. But he ended with 5 1/3, 2 runs, and only 1 walk. He was efficient. He got through the innings. And the second run came until later, and it was like a sac fly. He wasn't like he was giving up big blows, big hits. And speak of the guy, Gleyber Torres, any given day, this guy can come in and just get the hits and get us a win. And he did. He had a 3-run bomb to go up 3-1, and then they cut it to 3-2, and second and third, 2 outs. 2-run single up the middle. Just clutch. Just a clutch hit. And when you have a bullpen like we do, where Michael King can come in, get us out of the jam, and then struggle a little bit, we can have Holmes come in and get Guerrero to do a double play because it's just we have the guys that are picking each other up. I feel like we're kind of seeing the way the bullpen is going to shape up in the sense that King's a lot of the time the first one out. Holmes comes in anytime is damage control, especially when Chapman's available to pitch. And in this game, I mean, we got through it up 5-2, but you get Chapman in the ninth, and you never know. And this is one of those where I was kind of worried we used King and Holmes because they're usually the ones to clean up the mess. Because you got shaky. Started off with a double, a walk, or a double, a wild pitch, and then a walk. Then give up a sac fly, which in that situation, that's fine. You just want outs. And then it's tying run to the plate for Bo Bichette and Vladdy. They're 2 stars. And, man, Bo almost did it. He had a really good at bat, and he cranked one foul. You can tell he was right on it. He was right on it.
I wouldn't have talked to you for 3 days.
I mean, that was just I was kind of distracted in the moment, and I looked over and I just saw the ball in the air, and I was like, "Oh, please," because I knew he was hitting too. I was like, "This can't be real." But it was foul. It was more foul than I thought when I originally saw it. I mean,
see, the problem with you saying all this about Bo Bichette is like he's gonna come up in a big moment in a big spot in a game at the end of the year, and you're just gonna be way too nervous. Like
even if I don't jinx it in the moment, I already it's too late.
It's already too late, and it's like it's just added.
You can see it. He's been raking against us, and he's hitting 235 on the year. Like he must not be getting hits against anybody other than us.
No, probably not.
And it's my fault. And then I got Bo to strike out because he stinks. And then Vlad. He's always a tough one, but he popped up. He's been off. He was off these 2 games. He was breaking bats, doing all sorts of stuff. But what I took from this,
it's because he showed us up at the end of the last series. He's like doing a split. Well, he had to do the split, but he's like putting his hat on backwards, ripping his jersey out like he's Rafael Soriano, like he just won the World Series. I saw people on Twitter going, be like, "Oh, you don't want to see the guy celebrate?" No, I don't want to see the guy celebrate when it's May 3rd. And like, no, just like, okay, you won the game. Do it like you've done it 100 other times.
What happens? They're exciting. They're young. They're overrated. That's what it is. But
no, don't say that.
Whatever.
You just said Vlad was over.
No, they are. They're the Blue Jays. They're a young, overrated team. That's what it is. No, yeah. I mean, I kind of retroactively said this after what happened in the White Sox series, but Chapman's just primed for his yearly, like, summertime, just can't throw a strike.
Right in the heat of our winning streak.
I think he may have ruined my 4th of July vacation the last 3 years.
Yeah.
It's clockwork with this dude. And then he figures it out in August, and then we get to the end and he blows it. It's really bad, and it's so on brand. I hope we have enough. Can we just stop using him if he gets bad?
Well, that's
like we have enough arms now, especially when we trade for a no-name and he turns out like God, like we also do every year. That's another clockwork. But I mean, if that's the case, put Holmes, Loaisiga, any of them in the 9th. Like rotate it. I don't care. Yeah, exactly.
Him.
Flip a coin. Yeah.
Him.
Beautiful. Wandy, perfect. Like it's literally fine. He
not Chad Green though.
Not
Chad Green though. Wandy could be a closer for like a really bad
he's a crazy man. Because he's a crazy man.
He is a crazy man. We don't see him enough, but he's crazy.
No, he's nuts, that guy. But yeah, I mean, 2 games. It's huge for the standings. We talked about this going into it, where it's like the 3-game sets are easy. Even if you drop 2 out of 3, you only lose a game, and it's not detrimental. But with a 2-game series, you can't afford to lose both interdivision, and that's exactly what we avoided, and that's exactly what happened to Toronto. And they really, I mean, they're falling behind in those standings.
Yeah,
and I think this started it, to be honest.
I wanna say one quick thing about the bullpen. Like, ever since I saw that Rays bullpen in 2020, the one that we just couldn't hit, remember? Or the one that we just can't hit any year, I realized that it's like your bullpen, everybody needs, like, there's a role with everybody. Obviously, you have an innings role, but like you have a guy that can throw a heater, you have a guy that can throw a sinker, you have a guy that you could bring in to get a huge double play ball. This year, we can plug and play because we've got the guys for the certain situations. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy like Clay Holmes where you just bring him in and it's just double play or strikeout. And it might bite myself. This might come to bite me eventually, but I didn't mean to say I bite myself. That was a little weird. But Clay Holmes, you just put him in and just you get what you want with, Loizaga. I know he's been struggling. You need to break a bat. You need a soft contest. You bring in soft contact. You bring in Loizaga. It's just different guys in different roles. I love it because this bullpen is just right where it needs to be. So now we're going to Chicago. So, Luke, what would you?
Split written all over it.
Yeah.
The series had split.
But Luke, what would you do if you're 25-year-old second baseman? If he had 5 RBIs day before against a division rival, would you play him or sit him against the White Sox?
Load management. No, yeah.
Load management.
No,
load management and 25 years old can't go together. It's Gleyber Torres.
The only explanation would have been if DJ sat the day before and they just flipped him, but that just didn't really happen.
But that didn't happen.
So I don't know what
put yourselves in his shoes. You just hit 5 RBIs. What else do you got to do?
It feels like they're scheduled off days. Maybe he's bad against Cease. I don't know. It's one of the two things, either matchups wise or he's scheduled. I mean, they can schedule him all they want if we just keep winning. Like tonight, Judge is sitting, probably scheduled. They probably have that written on the board since opening day that he's going to sit this first Baltimore. It's just honestly, but
yeah,
as long as we keep winning, I'll be fine.
You said split. I thought this was maybe a game we would lose, especially with Luis Hill pitching. Right, this was the Hill game, yeah. Dylan Cease, one of the best breaking balls I've ever seen. Very fast fastball. Very hard fastball, very slow changeup overlaid with the curveball. Just unhittable at some points. I thought he was going to carve us up, and he kind of did. He kind of didn't. Big G, took him deep in the first inning. I was like, all right. He pitched Giancarlo Stanton like he was pitching to Barry Bonds. He pitched to Aaron Judge. There it is, blah, blah, blah. Giancarlo comes up. He's throwing it away. He's throwing it up out of the zone. Yeah, he couldn't command anything, or maybe that was what he was trying to do. Then he throws this big loopy curveball, and Stanton just goes, whop, right field, 2-0 Yankees. And that's such a boost if you're Luis Hill, because you come out, haven't made a road start, first start of the season, all eyes on you. He's known for his shaky control. Kind of did, kind of didn't pitch well. His first inning, strikes out Anderson, Moncada, Abreu. And Anderson's one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball, best batting average and one of the best batting averages in all of baseball. Turned to my dad after he did all that. I was like, this guy's a perfect relief pitcher. I mean, this guy, God forbid he ever added a breaking ball. His fastball is awesome. His fastball has so much ride on it. Doesn't move a lot, but it just zips in there. Well,
live arm.
Exactly. Like most relief pitchers, though, you struggle. You struggle after one inning of work. So in the second inning, give up an RBI double to AJ Pollock, a 2-run single to Luis Garcia, and the Yankees are now down 3-2. And I'm like, oh, man. Dylan Cease just struck out everybody. I'm pretty sure he struck out like every batter but one.
Yeah, no, they said on the broadcast, the first 3 innings were a walk, a strikeout, or a home run. It was 7 strikeouts, the walk, and then the Giancarlo home run.
He had 4 innings and 11 strikeouts. I mean, that's crazy. And he had 6 earned runs. I don't know, that. How do you do that? Yeah, a 3 outcome pitcher. We need one of those.
Yeah, we don't have enough
pair him up with
guys on our team.
Pair him up with Joey G. So I was starting to get annoyed by Keel. He didn't really have a put away pitch. And I thought our bullpen was going to get taxed. I thought he was just going to mail it in and they were just going to pull him. But he didn't. He did settle in a bit in the third. But after we scored 4 in the top half of the third with a Rizzo RBI triple, Giancarlo another 2-run home run, dude's on fire, and a DJ RBI double, he loaded the bases in the 4th inning. I'm like, here he comes. So Tim Anderson comes up. Sorry, Garcia comes up, right? I think so. The number 9 guy comes up. It's a slow roll to down, so he makes a really nice play at the plate. And, there's 2 outs. Anderson comes up, works a deep count, gets him to 2 strikes. And I'm like, all right, Dad, he's going to throw a fastball up at his eyes. And I was like, actually, no. He's throwing this one above the catcher's head. And then it just happened. And I was like, did I really need to, rephrase? So gives up another run, but then he strikes out Anderson on a high curveball that he just checked at. And it was like, why did I ever do that? So he ends up going, Anderson went 0 for 3 against him. So hopefully that's a good sign. 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Option the next day, but that's fine. Solid outing.
He's going to be done being a starter.
Yeah.
He has like a 9 ERA in AAA too. They literally just have to stop. Bring him in for 2 innings late in the game. Try to get him to be a really good 2-inning pitcher, and then he'll. Like if they do that, by the stretch run, he could be impactful for us.
I mean, is there a better comparison than the Dellin Betances? I mean, yeah, Dellin Betances had like one of the best slurves I've ever seen, but
he'll just roll though. No,
yeah, no,
exactly.
And just like stature, and I know Dellin was taller, but like, man, if Heel can throw something that's slower than his 93-mile-an-hour changeup, like he needs something that's going here to here and cuts. Like it needs to be slow because his fastball. He needs to take notes from Dylan Cease.
Yeah, he needs that little whatever.
Yep.
Pitch.
So
70.
Yeah, this game stalled, I think, till like the 6th inning when Aaron Judge came up and just absolutely. Sorry, 7th inning. Just 457-foot home run off Ryan Burr deep into the night. Been saying that a lot, which is a good sign. So Yanks take a 7-4 lead, which is, we took the 6-4 lead with that big inning. Gale gives up the run 6-4. Now it's 7-4. So Litke pitched the 6th. They bring him back out. He hadn't pitched in a week. So, he pitches. He did pretty well. He dropped, there was a miscommunication at the end of the 1 inning. Ball dropped in, but he was rolling. So they brought him back out. Gave up a leadoff single. And then here comes Loizaga. And I go to my room, lie down, check the at-bat app. All of a sudden, it's a 3-run home run, and it's all tied up at 7.
It was so interesting the way it unfolded because he came in immediately and just looked wrong. And then the bomb happened, and it's like, of course, like he's due for one of these every once in a while. And then they go out and talk to him, and it was almost like the reverse of what we were talking about earlier, where they went out to the mound to check on Romano, and they just made him so much worse. But Loizaga threw, I think he had 6 pitches after that in the inning before he got out of it, and they were all disgusting. Like I think he may have I think they may be working through something mechanically with him, and that's also could be why he's not pitching high leverage because it was just a total switch. Like he was just throwing everything exactly how it needed to be, 98 on the black, just like he used to, and I'm not overly concerned, but it was a shot that he let up. He'll be fine. I'm really not worried about him. I trust him more than I think anybody in our bullpen if they lose it to figure it out.
Yeah, and he's been pitching since 2018. That's hard to believe. It's crazy. He's pitched a lot, so he knows how to get outs. He'll figure it out. His stuff's still, like Luke just said, his stuff's still great. So I was pretty disappointed because you do all that, you score the 7 runs. I thought we were going to win the game with Luis Hill. We were going to squeak away, but we didn't. But the eighth inning, top of the eighth inning, was maybe the most entertaining half inning to recent memory. And it's because Hicks grounded out and Gallo struck out, of course, to begin the inning, right? And we won 1-2-3, right? No, we didn't. Marwin 2-out walk. That's something a lot of people will forget. Marwin Gonzalez started this rally.
I will forget that.
I won't. Marwin's my guy. Gleyber came into pinch hit and he walked, which was awesome. It was a great at bat. Shout out Gleyber. He's probably just a little bit annoyed that he wasn't playing. But once again, he's doing all he can. Here he is. DJ came up and walked. And then you're like sitting there and you're like, Joe Kelly can't find the plate. And that's perfect because I don't like Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly is the worst. And yeah, Joe Kelly and the Yankees have a lot of history. So Judge came up. It's a deep count, 3-2, right? They kept him in. They kept Kelly in. That's right. It's the right move, right? Slow roller into the 5-hole. Backhand, throw to first. Skipped it in. Judge beats it out. Bray's just kind of standing there, Standing there. Gleyber's just busted his you-know-what. And he scores 2. 2 runs scored on infield single. Gleyber Torres is doing everything the guy can. I tweeted before he had the 5 RBIs that I was sick of him. Then he gets the 5 RBIs. I'm like, all right. Then I'm like, why is he not playing? And here he is in extra innings. And I tweet out, he's got to play every day. So there you go. Very heads up. 9-7 Yankees.
It was like the play that Josh Chisholm made that blew up on social media. No one posted this one, but it's just as impressive. Like the guy's going to his left or going to his right, throws across the body, and you just never stopped running. It was perfect. It was a huge run too. The difference between 1 and 2 runs is huge.
Sorry he doesn't have blue hair. Sorry. So pass ball. They just left Kelly in there. I don't know what they were doing. They left him in against Rizzo. They had a lefty warming up.
They brought him for Stanton.
Right. Exactly. So pass ball, second and third. Rizzo walks. He threw the pass ball to open up first base. It was perfect. He did it on purpose, right? So bases loaded. They bring in Tanner Banks. Who? I never heard of the guy. So I was like, all right, whatever. They show Stanton's 1 for 4 with the bases juice. They just brought in a lefty pitcher that I've never heard of. 2-run single up the middle. There you go, Tony La Russa. Nice move. Donaldson, second pitch, because he always swings right after Stanton does something. It's usually an out. 3-run home run, 14-7 Yankees. Judge hit a sac fly, his 4th RBI. Yanks win 15-7. What a statement. I didn't know we were playing football in the month of May, and we got a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, we score in bunches. Once someone gets it going, we just keep rolling, and it rolled right into the next game. It felt like a continuation. First inning, Stanton bomb. It's like, all right, so we're just going to win this game by 100.
Deja vu.
And that's kind of what happened. You have Cole on the mound. And then the second inning, we came right back. IKF got a hit. They ran a hit and run with Trevino. He got a hit, which is just like, all right.
Of course he did. Of course he did, right?
Yeah, Hicks double. Nice. DJ RBI ground out.
No, hold on. Hicks Hicks RBI double. We need to say it because it never happens. Have to say it.
What?
We have to say that Hicks had an RBI double.
I did.
No, you just said a Hicks double.
RBI double. Brought his average up with running scoring position to probably 105, whatever.
Yep.
DJ RBI ground out.
Not fine.
Donaldson, it's not fine at all. Donaldson double. Another one. He's 5-0. It's like, all right, 5-0 Cole on the mound. I could turn this off. And I kind of could have. Cole, you could tell he's pitching with the lead. He's just attacking the zone. 9Ks, just getting ahead on guys. There's a weird play in the fourth. He like tried to pick off the guy at first.
DJ
with
just
first
wasn't
and third,
there.
2 outs. Yeah, and DJ just wasn't covering, so it was a balk. So he let up a run on that. But it was like IKF's defense was weird all day. Like people were on base. Like it was just strange. Like it wasn't.
And he had 2 errors in the 5-3 win the second game against the Blue Jays. He had 2 errors in that game. So we come back. So he has the yips. He has the yips. He doesn't know when to field the ball. He doesn't know when to throw the ball. He doesn't know how hard to throw. You know, it's like, dude, relax. Like you're the shortstop.
He's very hit or miss. Very hit or miss. So yeah, it was one of those weird games. Cole kept trying to like fire him up on them. I don't know. I thought it was kind of corny. Yeah, it was so corny. Whatever. We don't have to even. They're like, yeah. It's like you're gonna baby IKF. Like, come on, he's a grown man. He'll figure it out.
He's like 27. It's not like he's like
It's like
Oswald Peraza. He's like
that's what I'm
22,
saying.
just right out of the womb.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, he let up a run there. Judge and Gallo hit home runs. It was 7-1. They left Cole in. He's pitching well. He ended the night giving up a home run. I feel like he does that a lot. It was just like, I don't know. We're up 6 runs.
Gavin
Yeah,
Sheets.
another lefty just ran into one. It's fine. Left inning, 6 in the third, 3 runs, 9 Ks. I mean, I'd prefer him not to give up 3 runs, but in the way the game was going, it was fine. Like we just needed to get through the game. And King helped us with that. 2 in the third, 1 run. It was only Cole and King. It was a nice rest for everybody. It felt like nobody else had to pitch. And then Donaldson hit another garbage time home run in the 9th. IKF sac fly made it 10-4. But all those runs, I mean, you never know, especially in Chicago. I feel like we always have crazy high scoring games in Chicago. So it was good that we were able to step on their throats when we got ahead. Yeah, just,
for sure.
I thought it was gonna flow right into Keuchel too, because just lefty. Like I don't know. I just thought we were just gonna kill them every game, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't really know what it is about Dallas Keuchel. I mean, we have our history with the guy, but then he's coming in with a 7 ERA. So I'm like, all right, doesn't matter, right? 7 ERA. He stinks now, but he just didn't stink. I'm like, I don't even really.
Just
I don't know.
baseball. Just
Yeah.
baseball.
I
Just baseball.
Exactly. And
This is the
game
most that's baseball
Oh.
game I've ever watched. Like it's
that
just so
that that's what I'm saying, and I don't even want to harp on it. Like I really don't. Like I just really don't.
yeah. Literally the only notable things, honestly, from this whole game, like yeah, he shut us down. Monty was like good or whatever, but we don't score. For
He doesn't get any run support. Like I don't know what it is.
We're 2-5 with him on the mound, which makes us like 27-4 with everybody else pitching. Like it's just I don't know if it's like a mental crutch or whatever. The only notable things I thought, like you said, was the IKF base running was just bad, no excuse. And then, like you also said, Rizzo could have knocked that ball down. Like, that's the thing about him, where he has such soft hands. He tries to like pick everything, and in that situation, you have to just keep it on the infield. Give us a chance.
You're not gonna want to hear this. I'm not. Really. But big Luke Voigt
would not have gotten that ball. No chance. 0.
Dude, but all right.
Leave
the
it
concept of just knocking the ball down, Voigt did. Rizzo just kind of like you just said.
He didn't have to move. Like you no.
No, but Rizzo, yeah, I know. He's gotten cute with it. And I don't know, it's kind of, and I know he's a first baseman, but it kind of feels like he kind of lost his first kind of
like the way the infield was shifted, they were shaded up the middle. So he was like all the way out there. Like it wasn't like a first base. It was he should have knocked it down. I'm not gonna freak out though. I'm not gonna freak out. Like he should have knocked it down. But
yeah. Because after that, like best case, like if he knocks it down, who knows if we even get it out. So then it's bases loaded, one out. Exactly. Yeah, and even if it isn't, it's like, ground ball, maybe he gets it out, maybe it's first and third, 2 outs.
And then Jose
He
Abreu's
was
coming up.
thinking double play. He was thinking the quick pick, the throw from the knees, the second. Like he just, I don't know.
No, and I also
he's
just
been good for the most part. I
Yeah.
think he's goofed a couple, but
he's been fine. I just Tim Anderson, like Chapman with runners aboard. I mean, that's just never gonna change. It's just never gonna change. And like, I don't know. I don't know. He's just when someone gets on, they get in his head. I remember when Billy Hamilton did it on the Mets, like a couple years ago, and then JD Davis took him deep. Like,
yeah,
it's little stuff like that.
Figure it out, man.
It's just it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So kind of disappointing. And IKF, like he apologized after the game, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to give him a hard time. He runner on second, runner on third, fly ball to left field, not right field, left field. The throw is closer to third base from left field.
They're throwing it in front of you. Like, come on.
They're throwing it in front of you. I get it. If you want to draw the throw, you don't got to run there to draw the throw. Obviously, they're going to throw the ball. Run halfway and get your back. Don't just no.
Took the bat out of Aaron Judge's hands. And DJ with a runner in scoring position.
And DJ, who you kept mentioning that DJ had been struggling. But DJ, like, he had a couple games in Chicago where he had like 3 hits, maybe 1.
Yeah, he was more just his like overall, like his average is down to like 270. Like just I think more like long scope. I think he's like I'm not gonna think
he's shown signs of actually being pretty good this year, so I'm not gonna get too worried. But like, you can't take the bat out of those guys' hands. And it was like, ooh, we tied the game. But we're just gonna lose it in the next inning.
With a sack fly. Like he never does anything right with the bat. It's like
he's actually looked barely okay at the plate.
I just hate watching him field his position.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like it. He's not.
I don't even think about it. I don't even think about it at this point. It was just such a blah game. I don't even really want to go too deep in it. We lost 3-2, and we had to go into this last game. And I mean, Luke, you talked about him the first time. Let's talk about him again.
Hammer. Yep. He just dropped the hammer. He did like pretty much the same thing. I was like, we got 3 runs on 1 hit, which was funny. Kopech just walked the park. And yeah, I mean, Nestor just took that and ran with it. And the offense, you could tell they kind of like checked out. They're like, dude, this is our guy. Like, he's not, we're fine. And it's just how it went. It was 3-1 like the whole day. No, 3-0 the whole day. Then Nestor let up a home run with the 1 out in the 8th. And then Gallo insurance bomb. Like, that's literally the entire game.
Joey, man. Like, what? Why? Like, why is he doing exactly what you said he was going to do?
Just good enough to get that bag.
He was going to play like what for God knows how long. And then he was just going to go 3 weeks of just tearing it up. And then he was just going to middle off. And he was going to play well again. But it was, like you just said, just good enough to get the contract. And then he's just going to finesse.
Oh, 210, but the shift. The wind was blowing in sometimes. It's like,
we're just going to justify him hitting 210, right? Right?
Yeah, because of the shift.
Because the shift, he automatically won't strike out anymore. It's because the shift. It gets in his eyes. He doesn't like it.
Can't see the ball.
Can't see the ball. But, last, I think, 15 or 16 games, he's got over 1,000 OPS. He's been hitting home runs.
He's been hitting home runs.
Just hit home runs. Like, if you're going to hit 200, hit home runs. Don't just not hit. Just if he's hitting home runs, we're in a better spot. Last year, he was hitting home runs, sort of. This year, he wasn't. So he was
really. He was so
okay.
bad with us last year.
He hit like 13 home runs, but like this year he's hit like none. So he's got to hit home
He
run.
hit 13 home runs with us last year.
10 or 13. It was in that range. It was double digits. Double digits. But Joey, it's fine. But Nestor went freaking 8 innings. It was awesome. The dude, Luke, here's the game where you're going against one of the best offensive teams in baseball against left-handed starting pitcher. If there was a game that Nestor Cortes was going to be bad, he wouldn't have chosen, or that would have been the game. That would have been the game. And he had one of his best starts of his season, best starts of his career. The guy is an absolute battler. And I think after a start like this, you could start talking about Nestor Cortes like a Cy Young candidate. Laugh all you want. Look at the stats.
You're not wrong. I mean, he's our ace, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Dude, I'm just thinking about a world where we win game 1 and it's game 2, and then it's like, oh my God, it's Nestor. And he just shoves.
Yeah.
He's the game 2 thing that they were looking for with the Davey and Hap, where they tried to get all cute. Like, this is that. But
this is as cute, and it's good.
And it works. Exactly. Correct. Yeah, no, I mean, great stretch of games. It's fun to talk about when we just win every game.
7-2 since the last time we spoke. I mean, that's
beautiful.
And it's like, okay, you beat the Royals, you beat the Rangers, you beat the Orioles. Like, all right, how about 3 out of 4 in Chicago? Like, that's not easy. And I don't care.
Smacking the Blue Jays, too.
Right. Smacking the Blue Jays. I don't even,
a good win.
I don't know. Like, people like to say, oh, well, they beat the Whites. Or I don't know if people actually like to say this. But, like, people might say, oh, well, they beat the White Sox. They're struggling. The White Sox still have really good hitters. We faced Cease, who had a 2.5 ERA. We faced Kopech, who had pitched 31 innings and hadn't given up a run. And in this last game, he couldn't find the strike zone, and he gave up 3 runs on 2 walks, and a wild pitch. I didn't want to talk about this game. I just wanted to focus on Nestor. Kopech pitched well against us. Actually, our bats in this game were pretty dead. Like, they were pretty dead.
Terrible. No, they were terrible.
Pretty dead the last 2 nights. You know, after scoring 25 runs in the first 2 games.
It's bound to happen.
It's bound to happen. So, but we saw these good pitchers and we still were able to win. And that's very good because, a team, you're not validating yourself. We're dominating and we're validating. And, that's just really cool to see. So.
Yeah, no. So,
I don't even know what else to say other than this episode was brought to you by Z89. Tune into Z89.1 FM if you're in the Central New York area, or turn up Z89 on your iHeartRadio app. You can also listen to the Monument Park podcast on Z89.com, as well as YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Luke, anything else to add? Like anything like interesting or cool or funny or something just not nice about someone on the Yankees? Like, now's your time to tell it.
Good to see you. Forgot to mention, this was your thing, but we have guys in the minors that are playing well too, and Ender Inciarte and Andujar. I mean, Andujar can hit, but he's like hitting, and then Inciarte. Like, it feels good to look over our shoulder to know we have Heel in the minors, could come up and be in the bullpen. We have Clark Schmidt coming up and down. He could give us big outs, and then we have guys that can play the field and guys that can hit too. So
how about Inciarte, a multi-time Gold Glove Award winner in center field, a guy that's, he did get cut by the World Series Braves last year and he went on to win the World Series, but like that, he's a veteran. So it's like, that he's like seen it before. And Andujar, dude's just hitting rockets.
He rakes.
Over and over and over.
It's just comfortable. Like, I feel comfortable about the state of the team. Overall.
I do too.
Obviously, I'm going to get worked up about Gallo and Hicks all the time because they stink, but that's just life. No, yeah. Nothing else. All good vibes.
for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.